Ciao, my loves. This is Gemma with your June new moon and solar eclipse reading. If you'd like a personal reading, you can always book in the link below. I want to preface before we get started that these energies are going to continue to unfold over the next few weeks, especially during Mercury and Saturn retrograde. So they're going to continue to do this unfolding that will continue to occur. As commonly eclipses go, the energy isn't just in one day. It can continue on for months after, just depending on your own personal planetary placement. This eclipse new moon is a very unique one, as they all are, in its terms of actually being a reflective point from August of 2018. I'll get into that. But with that being said, the importance of this planetary new moon is really going to show heavy in terms of transmutation and alchemical abilities. So be very, very mindful. I cannot emphasize this enough on what your environment is. Clearing space, clearing the mind, making sure that your environment of what you hear, what you feed yourself, what others are saying are of alignment, being mindful of not listening to anything that is coming in. The full moon meditation works on the gates. This is also a part of this energy. So cleansing the gates is actually closing the gates or drawing in the senses or the sensory receptors. And so that's being mindful of what you hear, what you see, and what you think, because these sensory receptors are going to feed what your belief system are and the thoughts. And we are on the precipice of a new creation. Okay, so let's get started, shall we? The new moon solar eclipse marks a pivotal point of duality and immersion with the soul self. It is both the reset and a resurrection. The new moon is carrying forward new awakening through a new level of divine feminine nature within and its embodiment of love. The eclipse will work to usher out the structures within the material world that have been established through old mental structures. I really want to emphasize that I want you to think of this restructuring as, yes, the Tower card, but it's the feminine energy of magnetizing is so strong. And so again, be careful of what you draw into yourself, but it's also as you magnetize, and if you take something that is it's almost like it's like a star imploding on itself. And this is how we're going to shift a lot of things. This new moon solar eclipse rises with multiple planets conjunct in Taurus and two planetary retrogrades, Mercury and Saturn. The primary planets working through this lunation are the nodes, Ketu and Rahu, the North Node and South Node, Venus and Saturn. The Sun plays a pivotal role in the soul rising into the new materialized awareness and personal embodiment. Each planet is reiterating a powerful polarity aspect and marks a pivotal point in personal consciousness as it pertains to unifying the self to a new level. This new moon is the embodiment of strengthening the feminine principle, and it is the hermetic law of polarity acting within the stars. It is so important, and what I hope and always want to stress is how we are working with these energies. This energy on this moon is really emphasizing a lot of alchemical processes. It's physics. It's how we are changing the way we vibrate. This energy behind the lunation reflects back to August 18th, in which masculine and feminine principles marked a galactic point of unity. Here we are again, this time with the moon strengthening the feminine principle of magnetization and creation. An important aspect of this moon is the void. It is the reset point that will show what we bring into the mental space for creation and also allow a new space for creation. These energies are starting a second soul cycle. This cycle is predicated more on the shift of consciousness within space. Space is how we create our external world. The illusion of what we hold ourselves to is being revealed. Notice what comes up. I really want to point out that negative thoughts are going to rise up. Judgment, opinions, watch those. That's what needs to move out. That's what needs to be actually transmuted within the self. Any type of seeking also may arise for some of you, or holding on to your old belief system by the ways of actions or how you define yourself will come up, and those need to be transmuted. This is creating a new sense of self-freedom and self-awareness. Essentially, it is the ability to see how one creates from the mental and emotional body, and with what components, the thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. It is a powerful alchemical point. This point within the cosmos marks combustion and expulsion. It will allow one to see what mental, emotional aspects are being fed into created reality. It will stir lesser emotions and encourage transmutation through love and higher awareness. This transmutation is occurring by creating a new awareness on how everything is created through the void. This is the divine feminine aspect being represented with Venus's exalted placement alongside the moon. This unique placement shows how we draw unto ourselves. It may reveal the ways we carry others' words, expectations, or even how negative thoughts within ourselves creates patterns and reality. The void is the space in which all experiences, thoughts, and emotions arise from and return to. It is the space within the self and the divine feminine principle of Shakti, the chalice. This chalice, the thoughts and emotions and experiences are fed and then materialized into reality. I want you to think of like a void, black space. It's like a womb. It is that direct connection to divine feminine creative potential. And I'm not talking about gender. Yes, the law of gender occurs in alchemy, but in this case, I'm talking about the creative aspect and the polarity. This moon lunation eclipse will create a new sense of unity by understanding polarity, understanding that love and hate are the same consciousness, just on different spectrums. Cold and hot are the same consciousness on different spectrums. By merging them together, you transform them and are no longer bound by whatever their characteristics are. This is very, very important for you to transform that which arises into you and to give new life, new energy, not to the framework or the structures, but what you need to create or what you want, what your soul is seeking. Again, the soul is rising. It is the vessel of consciousness within the self and the divine that co-creates this material world. This lunation will mark a new point to feed the void with thoughts, different representations. Therefore, it will shift the way you see co-creation through the mental and emotional thought process. This will provide a unique way to see from within. I want you to imagine being in the eye of the storm. So it's like you're in, almost like Dorothy in the house, where she's seeing everything around her in this swirl. That's what you have an opportunity to see, because the veil is so thin. We have Saturn energy emphasized in its retrograde position in its own house, and Mercury. What that means is the traditional ways of thinking, seeing, doing are they're pulling back, so you can see behind the veil. You can see these swirling thoughts, experiences as if they're around you in your energetic body. This is going to show you, okay, I don't want to continue that. This lunation will provide a center point in which you can choose what you want to bring into your vessel. What emotions, thoughts, experiences would you like to feed into the void to create your next becoming, the next soul cycle? This is the position of Venus and the moon carrying divine feminine principles that are destructive and yet creative. It will destroy and then recreate. As marked by the Tower card in tarot, this is the implosion of negative, lesser aspects. I want you to imagine the tarot card is this falling of the tower, and a masculine and feminine are falling out of the tower, the old way of co-creative potential. But there's a lightning. The lightning is what's key. Is the lightning of, okay, new awareness brings down old patterns. This implosion of the negative lesser aspects that is simultaneously transmutating into new creative energies and awareness. It really is. I kept seeing this. It's like a star imploding and then radiating light. There's so much power and energy that will suction in. And that's when you transmute these lesser abilities or lesser mind processes that you're like, okay, no longer what I want to bring forward. And then you will radiate a stronger, higher vibration, a higher, more aligned sense of being. This new moon eclipse will enable the power to use divine feminine energy to transmute, to implode into the void so new fertile ground is open for your higher ideals. Negative emotions will come to light. As all eclipses reveal hidden aspects, this one is no different. The light of the sun will show what doubts, fears, and self-deprecating thoughts lie hidden within and withhold love and delude the self from the soul. It is only upon revealing the lesser that we take advantage and through this alchemical process and becomes new energy. New energy no energy can be destroyed, only recreated. Here is the point of recreation for the higher. It is a more potent vibration within and without. That means your awareness to it is going to transmute it. Use these energies. Do not run from what you see or condemn it. Just simply observe it and love through it. The ability to absorb mystical kinetic energy is extremely high. That means draw down more love for self. Draw in more creative potential. You are the creator, the creation, and the experiencer. Okay? It's like the magnetic power of that feminine principle is really heavily emphasized. I just kept seeing this. You must be so mindful of how you're utilizing what you are drawing unto yourself. You can either choose to recreate, but that will be, the energy is not moving that way, so you will in dissonance with it. It'll be discordant. It really is calling for new grounds to recreate. Use this kinetic energy and the combined cosmic forces of Venus and the moon. Draw more self-love unto yourself. Feel it and move forward. The node's role in this eclipse is past and future karma. It's really going to, the south node, I want to point out, is going to work more towards this divine love. But North Node is moving towards a new recreation, literally the materialization of your goals. They are placed at a unique point within the cosmos. They are both at a point which we call Virgotama, which means they are archetypally emphasized. That means their energy is pure. It's strong and pure. It's within the polarity, it's also being represented. So there is neither light or dark, it's both. How are you working with the spectrum is really, how are you working with the consciousness is what's coming into play. The South Node, Ketu, recently shifted into Anuradha in Scorpio. It's a different nakshatra. It's in an exalted position, okay? This position is really emphasizing the ability to use divine love, and love, as we say in alchemy and in yogic philosophy and mystical works. Love is the one conduit that transmutes everything. So the South Node here is going to encourage you to take divine love from the past. Anything you hold in the past, we are moving beyond space and time. Love through it. The nodes will represent illusion, and during this eclipse, the illusion within the self and the material world is emphasized. Ketu's position is contributing to the energy and the ability to transmute through divine love. It offers a sense of remembrance and surety through new transformation. It will give you an opportunity to transform the past so you become more self-assured in your awareness and what is rising through you. Her placement is working with Saturn to become the space, to quiet the mind. So new ideas, new love of self, new ways of being may emerge. This is how illusion will be revealed. You'll see the illusion of what you once believed or held against yourself. The framework to use these energies during this new moon is to transmute and channel new energy through self-love, through love, through compassion. As lesser thoughts or actions reveal themselves, the illusion of their hold must be transmuted through divine love and grace. It will shift the consciousness and aid in providing a fertile ground to birth spirit into matter, but also for higher ideals and goals to rise. After all, the solar eclipse is occurring in Taurus, conjunct North Node Rahu. This is the rise of the higher material realm with spiritual embodiment through understanding and power. Lastly, Saturn and Mercury retrograde are drawing prana life force inward. With both planets retrograde, the cosmic prana is moving into center, strengthening and reworking the mental and pranic subtle body. These planets will continue to play an important role over the next few weeks, as I had mentioned, but they're working to create the foreground to reveal mental impressions, but will work to draw down cosmic prana and shift the conscious relationship with past and present. So this is going to continue to occur for the next few weeks. This is just your ability to recreate the past and how you're showing up in the present, and honestly, to draw in your future into the present. Through this eclipse, the planets are reworking the subconscious mind. Remember, the subconscious mind is the power mind. So the future guidance is less inhibited by lesser thoughts. That means your future reality becomes your present existence and is no longer inhibited by what you thought was possible or what belief systems may have hindered. During this time, it's imperative to fill the mind with positive affirmations. I cannot emphasize this enough. With all of these veils lifting, the mental and emotional body is so permeable. Again, the magnetic energy is so strong. There is less clutter and differentiate, and as this energy is being transmuted, there's going to be less junk and grosser energy within the astral and astral body. That means old karmas are moving out because they're being recreated. The higher vibration is, the lesser karmas cannot bind to you. They will not attract to you. So old thoughts and processes are completely shifting. This is another aspect of the transformative energy. During this time, you have to be so mindful of what you are feeling in your space, what you are hearing. Again, we're working with the subtle energies of space and air. That means sounds, what we hear, what we think. That's the elements rule these processes within the mental and emotional body. So it's so important to restructure the subconscious to a present moment based on your future ideals. Be careful of what you feed yourself. Be careful, be so vigilant on what you hear, what you listen to, what you tell yourself, what your environment is. The restructuring of this space-time and the subconscious will cause manifestations to occur exponentially faster. Work with these energies to reshape and strengthen the thinking mind. That's what's happening with this Mercury retrograde and this Saturn, is you get to reshape how you think about things and how you execute through the subconscious. Because these energies are drawing inward, be vigilant on what you hear, tell yourself, and listen to. Again, your environment must be aligned with what you seek. Be what you seek. Meditation and silence are imperative. Allow the mind to cleanse itself of itself. Be the void to rebirth anew, and you will see universal laws and how to create the future you have always dreamed of. Ciao, my loves. As always, if you would like to do more spiritual, deeper, esoteric practices, please check out my Patreon page. The link is below. This is going to help you work with Svara Yoga. That is a yogic practice and sacred art on how to work with cosmic energies to empower yourself and awaken consciousness and to make material manifestations and execution more potent and more effective. It's also the way to understand the energy behind the elements. There's multiple tiers on the Patreon page, but it has been my joy to share these deeper esoteric yogic mystic practices, as well as these deeper alchemical practices for your awakening and support your spiritual and physical journey. Sending you all so much love. Please check out the meditation video. I encourage you to do the meditation of this new moon up to 3 days. You can continue to do it again for as long as you may need or whenever you are called to it. It's an energy. It is a guided meditation to work with a transmutation. All right, that's it. That's all I have for you. Sending lots of love. Ciao.